everyone, and welcome to the Vanarama National League Highlight Show on BT Sport. Over the next half an hour, we'll bring you all the action and reaction to the latest round of fixtures. Our cameras were at the Diva Stadium to watch Chester against Gateshead, two teams with still an outside chance of the playoffs. More on that a little bit later, but first, here are your headlines. Lincoln edge out Woking thanks to Reed's double. Dagenham and Redbridge make it 5 wins in a row. And 9-man Barrow snatch an injury-time equaliser. Lincoln City travel to Premier League Burnley next Saturday in the 5th round of the FA Cup, live on BT Sport. This weekend, it was back to the business of trying to win promotion to the Football League. Strugglers Woking made the trip to Sincil Bank and they fell behind after just 9 minutes. Matt Reed has been no stranger to the score sheet in his Lincoln career, but that was his first National League goal since November. The lead lasted barely a minute. Fabio Sarava's free kick nodded home by Gozi Ugwu, Woking's top scorer, pegging back the league leaders. And Gary Hill's side spurned a glorious opportunity to turn the game on its head. Macaulay Bonne somehow slicing wide with the goal at his mercy. Lincoln had been victorious in their previous 5 home league games, and they were given the chance to restore their advantage when Ismail Yakubu was adjudged to have climbed all over Reed. Penalty given. Dale Southwell, on loan from Wickham, saw his spot kick palmed away by Michael Poke. 1-1 at the half-time break. Danny Cowley introduced Josh Giannelli as a second-half substitute. 6 minutes after the interval, Giannelli made a telling contribution as his shot was turned into his own net by Woking defender Terrell Thomas. And 2-1 became 3-1 on the hour mark. Billy Knott playing in Reed, who showed composure and poise to register his second goal of the game and his 13th of the season. But Cowley's team weren't out of sight yet. Woking substitute Max Kretschmar went down under the challenge of Elliot Whitehouse, another penalty awarded with 15 minutes to go. Sarava stepped up to reduce the deficit to 3-2. But Lincoln held on. They already have more points this season than they managed in the whole of the last campaign.
When you miss a penalty and you can see the poor goal, you make it hard for yourself. When you've missed chances on the back of that as well, it makes it really tough. So no, we'll learn a lot from that.
In midweek, Andy Priest took charge of Southport, manager number 9 in 4 years. Dagenham and Redbridge were a daunting first opponent, the team boasting the best away record in the National League. The home side were out to impress their new coach and got given a penalty after almost half an hour, following a foul by Joe Widowson. Jamie Allen stepped up, converting confidently, handing his new boss an ideal start. It's worth remembering Southport have the worst defensive record in the division and can only blame themselves again. Keeper Mason Springthorpe handling outside his area, earning a yellow card. Then came a free kick taken superbly by Jordan Maguire-Drew, who's now into double figures for the season. Stills Daggers had won 5 of their last 6 games on the road and they were in front before the interval as Fajiri Okunabiri's effort was deflected into his own net by Southport's Robbie Cundy. And it got worse before the break. Oliver Hawkins with the pass. Okunabiri given a sight of goal. The finish emphatic, and it was 3-1 heading into half-time. Any faint hope of what would have been a sensational fight back was killed off in the final quarter of an hour. Okunabiri nodding back across goal. Corey Whiteley denied after a shove by Cundy. And after scoring an own goal, the man on loan from Oxford conceded a penalty and received a red card. Whiteley scored from the spot last Saturday and rounded off Dagenham's 5th win on the bounce. It's 4 defeats in a row, meanwhile, for Southport, who slip into the relegation zone.
Despite a run of just 2 wins from 10 matches, Forest Green Rovers are keeping pace in the promotion race. They began the day 4 points off top spot and welcomed a Bournemouth side who had lost 5 of their last 7 away games. But the hosts struggled to open up Luke Garrard's side in a frustrating first 45 minutes at the new lawn. Bruno Andrade coming closest to breaking a deadlock for Boreham Wood. Only Boreham Wood and Barrow had prevented Forest Green from scoring this season, and when Grant Smith got away with spilling Keanu Marsh-Brown's shot, it looked like Rovers might draw a rare blank. With the game on a knife edge, the breakthrough came from Forest Green's top scorer Christian Doidge with 7 minutes to go, a crucial 16th of the season for the Welsh striker. Mark Cooper gave a debut off the bench to new signing Omar Bugil, and the German pounced late on to make the game safe and secure a first home win for Forest Green in 6 matches.
We were at it, but we got frustrated because, they were sat that deep, and we think we've got to go for the jugular straight away. We don't. We need to pull them about and wait till the gaps appear. And I was pleased. I thought we stayed patient, and it's important that everyone sticks with us because there's a long way to go yet.
2 wins from 5 National League games had cast doubt over Tranmere's promotion prospects. By contrast, mid-table Bromley boasted back-to-back victories. Could they continue this against Mickey Mellon's men? The early signs at Prenton Park pointed to a dominant home performance. James Norwood was denied, and there was a chance for Jack Dunn at the back post, but he couldn't keep his shot down. The breakthrough came after 9 minutes. Ben Tollett with the corner, Andy Cook rising highest with a powerful header. Then came another set piece, another goal. Norwood kept out by Julian before Cook scrambled in the rebound. 15 goals for him this season and 2-0 Tranmere after only a quarter of an hour. Neil Smith's team were in danger of a thrashing. Norwood running clean through on goal. This time he beat Julian, but not Bromley defender Alan Dunn on the line. The complexion of the game was changed soon after the interval. Adam Buxton was making his league debut for Tranmere after signing from Portsmouth. The Bromley players and referee Carl Evans didn't like his challenge on Joe Anderson, and Buxton was sent off. With Tranmere down to 10, the away side turned up the pressure. Brandon Hanlon was on hand to land his 3rd in 2 games. And there was to be late drama at Prenton Park. Blair Turgott with the knockback for skipper Jack Holland, who completed the comeback. With their rivals at the top of the table all victorious, it could be crucial dropped points for Tranmere.
We should have been out of sight in the first half. I think we've created as many chances, clear-cut chances as that. Certainly since I was here, it could have honestly have been 4, 5 and 6. And obviously the sending off changes pretty much everything in the way that we want to play, because we can't sort of get up the pitch as much as what we had been doing. What people's got to understand is it's 8v8 in our half, so you've all got a man and a job to do, and maybe in 2 occasions we just didn't do our jobs and we got punished for it.
A 6-match unbeaten run had taken Aldershot above visitors Barrow in the table and just 2 points off a playoff spot. The away side were on their worst run of the season after just 1 victory in 7 games, all to play for at the EBB Stadium. It was to be a chaotic encounter, as evidenced by a frenetic opening minute. Barrow failing to clear the lines, and Matt McClure swiveled to fire Aldershot in front after just 49 seconds. Paul Cox's team responded well. Richie Bennett was foiled brilliantly by Aldershot keeper Jake Cole. It was a save that became all the more important when Will Evans doubled the home side's lead after 26 minutes. Aldershot in the ascendancy at half-time. The away team had a lifeline with 17 minutes to play. There didn't look to be much danger when Sean Tooton received the ball facing his own goal. The midfielder was making his league debut for Barrow after signing on loan from Barnsley, and Tooton pulled his new side back into the game in inspirational fashion. Barrow were eager to push for an equaliser, too eager. As they tried to get the ball back in play, the referee ruled that right-back Sean Bealey had put the boot in on Aldershot's Callum Reynolds. Bealey shown a straight red card on 87 minutes. And just 2 minutes later, Barrow were down to 9 men. Left-back Nick Anderton shown a second yellow card for pulling back Shamir Fenelon, Anderton's third dismissal in 15 months. But in an incredible finale, substitute Ross Hanna levelled with an outrageous free kick in the 96th minute. 4 goals, 2 red cards and a point apiece in Hampshire.
We've been sloppy in the first half. Defensively, without the ball, with the ball, I thought we were still on the bus. Second half, we looked a little bit more like us, so this is a tough place to come, and to get a positive result, I'm pleased with how we come through it.
The game lasts from 96. The second half we were very, very poor, and it tells you the scoreline, 2-2. First half good, second half very disappointing.
Dover began the day occupying the final playoff place. Wrexham made the trip to Crabble 7 points behind them, so a victory for the visitors would see them gain significant ground on their hosts. This week, Chris Kinnear re-signed Nicky Deverdix on loan from Hartlepool, a key part of the Dover side that reached last season's playoffs. Deverdix played a major role in the game's first goal too, with 25 minutes to go. His shot parried into the path of Joe Healy, who's now scored 2 in 2. John Rooney once again came off the bench for Wrexham. He's 1 start away from earning a contract extension. Rooney made the difference as his chip came off the post and into the back of the net off Jordan White. A point perhaps not enough though for Wrexham in their chase for the top 5.
Chester and Gateshead both knew that nothing less than a win would do to keep their playoff hopes alive when they met at the Diva Stadium. Commentary comes from Adam Virgo and Adam Summerton.
Here is Durrell, and played through here to Shaw. Great chance! Good save, Montgomery. Could yet be a chance here for Durrell. And Shaw, closest we've come to an opener.
The areas that Tom Shaw is picking up, Gateshead can't cope with. What he's doing, he's running in behind the back three. That's a brilliant through ball. Just gets it caught under his feet a little bit.
And this is Alabi. Cross was blocked by George Smith as we pass the half-hour mark at the Diva Stadium.
So they've been a quiet 20 minutes for the home side after a pretty excellent start.
A deep cross, it's towards Astles. They're struggling to get this clear, Gateshead. The shot's driven in. Oh, what an opportunity here, and it's been taken. Thumped home by Blaine Hudson. The centre-half forward from the back, to great effect. Chester 1, Gateshead 0.
Well, it's an emphatic finish from the centre-half, but the reason this goal happens is keeping the second balls alive, which they do brilliantly. It's a quality finish from the centre-half.
Miscontrolled by Durrell. That was a little late on McLaughlin, but the advantage played here by the referee. Burrow's waiting in the middle. It's a fantastic run, and it's an equalising goal as well. Certainly looked like a goalkeeping error, but the shot on target from Danny Johnson, who's just scored his 12th league goal of the National League season.
Well, what he does brilliantly here, Danny Johnson, just takes the shot early, and that surprises Liam Roberts. Turns Assel inside out. Brilliant individual play.
Elliot Durrell. It's one for Alabi to chase. At the beating of Hogan, great strength there from Alabi. And the shot is off target. Well, he created that chance all by himself. Frustrated, but good play nevertheless.
Well, what strength this is from Alabi. This is just unbelievable strength against Hogan. He's trying to pull him back there. He's honest to stay on his feet.
McLaughlin with the long throw, and it's been flicked on dangerously. Astel's got something on it. George Smith. Just sitting back here, Chester. It's inviting pressure, and it bounced brilliantly in the area for Jordan Burrow to thump it home for Gateshead. A clinical finish from Burrow. who now has 4 goals in 5 games in all competitions. He's in great form, and Gateshead are in the lead.
Certainly a goal that Gateshead had deserved in the second half, Adam.
We know that we've been inconsistent all season, but if there's a time to get a good run going, then it's now. And really, I don't think a draw was good for either side today if we're going to try and make a push up the table. So it was a vital 3 points.
I can't be too critical of my players after what they've done for me all season. There was work rate and there was effort out there, and sometimes we just have to hold our hands up and say, hey, on this occasion, hey, we weren't good enough to win that game, and what can we learn from it and try and move on.
FA Cup giant killers Sutton travelled to Solihull for their first league game since their heroics against Leeds a fortnight ago, which earned them Arsenal at home for a place in the quarter-finals. It was the home side here that made a flying start. Boss Liam MacDonald has recently brought in Regan Charles-Cook from Charlton to strengthen the Solihull attack, having lost to Kwasi Asante and Jamie Osborne in last month's transfer window. A cross from Shepherd Murrumbedzi was turned in by 19-year-old Charles-Cook after only 90 seconds, a dream start at his new club. The early goal sparked a response from the visitors, and they were handed a golden opportunity to equalise 5 minutes before half-time when Louis John was tripped by Joel Kettle. Captain Jamie Collins was ice cool from 12 yards when he scored the winner against Leeds, but couldn't convert this time as Nathan Baxter got down well to preserve Solihull's lead. Collins' miss was to prove even more costly moments later when Charles-Cook netted his second of the game, with fullback Murrumbedzi once again involved down the right side. Another new signing for Solihull is another 19-year-old Oladapo Afoyalan from Loughborough University. He became the second debutant scorer of the day when he slotted home Charles-Cook's cross to wrap up the points. Sutton boss Paul Doswell will want a much better performance against Guiseley on Tuesday before that cup tie with Arsenal on February the 20th.
You know, we're in that little area at the moment where we've got to start looking over our shoulders, and that started today before the game. But you know, we will get it right. But say at the end of the day, at the moment, we do need to start winning some games, especially away from home.
Results have picked up for York recently. Unbeaten in 5 games in all competitions at the start of the day, they knew victory over fellow strugglers Maidstone would be crucial if they're to avoid back-to-back relegations. And they made the best possible start when experienced striker John Parkin slid in to score his second goal for York this season. It was his first at Bootham Crescent since October 2003, during a previous spell at the club. Gary Mills's side dominated the first half and had a number of good opportunities to extend their lead. First, Simon Heslop fired just over from 20 yards. Then Verdane Oliver was perhaps unfortunate to be denied his first York goal of the season by the linesman's flag. And when Amari Morgan-Smith curled past the post with just Lee Worgan in the Maidstone goal to beat, it meant York took only a single goal advantage into the break. Their failure to take their chances was duly punished when on-loan Bromley midfielder Rhys Prestage expertly found the bottom corner from 25 yards to bring Maidstone level. The home side were chasing just their second home league win in 12 games, but when Oliver failed to connect with Heslop's cross shot, it ensured the points were shared. The draw enough to take York off the bottom of the league for the first time since New Year's Day. Maidstone move out of the relegation places on goal difference.
There was another relegation 6-pointer at Braintree, where North Ferriby were looking to extend a run which had brought them 3 wins from their last 4 on the road. And it was Steve Howsham's side who made the brightest start with 3 chances in quick succession. First, Braintree keeper Sam Besant saved well from Curtis Bateson, before Sam Topless skimmed the crossbar and Danny Emerton failed to convert the rebound as the scores somehow remained level. Moments later, Bateson had another opportunity but dragged his shot just wide. On a miserable day in Essex, it was Hakan Hayretton's men who grabbed the decisive goal. Ipswich loanee Monty Patterson did well in the box before his low cross was converted by sub Reece Hall-Johnson. A vital win for Braintree that moves them 4 points clear of the relegation zone. North Ferriby are now bottom.
We've played a lot worse than that and won again in football. I just thought we deserved more than what we got today. You know, we deserved at least a point. if not to go home with 3, but we're going home with none. But I will keep the spirits of the lads' heads up, and we'll just keep on going and fighting.
Guiseley hadn't lost at home since September when they welcomed Eastleigh to Nethermore Park, and they knew a victory could be enough to take them out of the bottom 4. It was Adam Lockwood's men who looked stronger in the opening 45 minutes, Michael Rankin missing the best of the early opportunities. Will Hatfield then let fly from just outside the box, but he was denied by an excellent fingertip save from veteran keeper Graham Stack. The deadlock looked certain to be broken just moments before half-time when Jake Cassidy found himself through on goal, but he got his square ball to Rankin horribly wrong. Those misses proved to be costly when Martin Allen's team edged in front in first half injury time, the unmarked James Constable firing home his 4th of the campaign. After a tight second half with few clear-cut chances, the home side rescued a point with the last kick of the game when Jake Lawler was quickest to react after an almighty scramble in the box. Guiseley remain a point from safety, but Eastleigh's faint playoff hopes appear to have vanished completely.
The changes I made when I first came in clearly haven't worked, so you either sit back and accept that, or I had a good long chat with the chairman and said, well, let's go again and we'll try something different. There's still plenty of games to go, there's still plenty of points on the table, and we've certainly got enough decent players here to make a good run of it.
4 defeats in their last 5 games meant Torquay were only 4 points clear of the drop zone at the start of the day. They faced a Macclesfield side who'll feel there's still an outside chance of making the playoffs. The contest began in bizarre fashion when Torquay keeper Brendan Moore was penalised for holding onto the ball for too long. But the American stopper made up for his error from the resulting free kick, showing good reactions, keeping out a shot from Mitch Hancock's. John Askey's side have an FA Trophy quarter-final to look forward to against 7th-tier Dulwich Hamlet. They took the lead 10 minutes before half-time when Kingsley James volleyed in via a deflection, his first goal since August. But Kevin Nicholson's side grabbed a deserved equaliser early in the second half when Sean McGinty planted a firm header past Scott Flinders in the Macclesfield goal. A point apiece did little to ease Torquay's relegation fears or aid Macclesfield's promotion push.
So, Lincoln have a 3-point lead at the top of the table as they go into next Saturday's FA Cup 5th round tie at Burnley, a game you can see live on BT Sport. Dagenham and Redbridge and Forest Green both won to keep up the pace, but Tranmere slipped further behind after surrendering that 2-goal lead against Bromley. Maidstone moved out of the relegation zone on goal difference after the 1-1 draw at York, who are off the bottom for the first time since New Year's Day. North Ferriby's defeat at Braintree sends them back into last place. And a reminder that our next Vanarama National League live action is on Friday, March the 3rd, as Chester take on promotion hopefuls Tranmere in a big local derby at the Diva Stadium. That's exclusively live on BT Sport 1 and in 4K ultra high definition from 7:15. That's all we've got time for this week. Don't forget you can watch all of our highlight shows back on our dedicated YouTube channel, and it's for free. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.
Look the part, play the part. Yakko sponsors Vanarama National League on BT Sport.